Unlike the previous exotics, Icebreaker doesn't appear in the E3 demo trailer or any other Destiny 1 Year 1 trailer that I could see. It doesn't have a drawing board to go along with it either, so instead we jump right into the launch of Destiny 1. Icebreaker definitely fits the role of an exotic as it is a one-of-a-kind weapon. Icebreaker is amongst the slowest rate of fire snipers in the game, but also gets a 6-round magazine. Its main perk, No Backpack, makes it so there's no reserves, cannot be reloaded, and ammo is instead regenerated over time, around 5 seconds for each shot. One of the main perks on it is Mulligan, where if you miss a shot, there is a 1 in 20 chance of it being returned straight to the magazine. Its other main perk is Icebreaker, where kills would create a small firefly-like explosion that damages other enemies. This weapon definitely belonged in the earlier stages of Destiny 1, as the game at this point is a lot slower and conservative compared to how it is in Destiny 2. You moved slower, took more time to get around, gunplay was the main focus since abilities were generally a lot slower to regen, and were more of a special equipment item rather than a powerhouse spam ability. It's overall a very much slower paced gameplay loop. Strategies such as camping were sometimes quite viable, especially in nightfalls, so having a weapon that had effectively infinite ammo and was a super hard hitting weapon made it so bosses were pretty much an endurance test. Destiny 1 also favored this playstyle, as with the many cheese spots in a lot of Destiny 1 strikes. You could pretty easily solo any strike boss with enough time. For example, under the stairs in the Cerberus Ve 3 strike, behind the little wall or up top before you drop down in the Nexus, or up on the outer platforms in the Undying Mine. Its Grimoire card reads that Icebreaker was made in conjecture with the Vanguard and various city foundries, mainly Hake. The project was scrapped after only a single weapon reached testing phase. The prototypes are considered unsafe for duty, however, that did not stop Guardians from seeking out Icebreaker. After all, death is only an occupational hazard. We'll get to the PvP side of things in a bit, as its popularity in PvP spiked after a certain update. For now, the patch notes for Icebreaker or notes affecting Icebreaker goes as followed. On September 7, 2014, increased base stability range by 6 to 100%, modified by weapon stats for sniper rifles. On December 1, 2014, the Sended perk was now replaced with Lightweight. It was redundant, as Icebreaker already has max range. New effects for enemies killed by the Icebreaker perk as well. On April 14, 2015, fixed an issue introduced in 1.1.1 that allowed Icebreaker to persist ammo after respawn. On September 8, 2015, increased ammo recharge from 5 to 7 seconds. This is also the update that nerfed Year 1 perks, so going through those. Accurized Ballistics reduced range and damage by 50%, Field Choke reduced damage by 50%, reduced range by 60%, and reduced stability by 20%, and Linear Compensator reduced damage by 50%. Once again, this was in preparation for the Taken King, however there would not be a Year 2 version of Icebreaker available. Nevertheless, on December 8, 2015, increased sniper rifle damage falloff. On April 12, 2016, added 2 frames of zoom time to sniper zoom, reduced snapshots perk benefit to 20% from 30%, and reduced sniper rifle stability stats. Interestingly enough, even though Icebreaker isn't able to be brought up to Year 2 power, it has a specific patch note for it here. I presume this was meant as a PvP tune. So for Icebreaker specifically, increased optic zoom level to 6 times, reduced handling base stat to the lowest value for sniper rifles, reduced target acquisition by 25%, aka aim assist, and fixed an issue where ammo persisted through death when switching weapons. On September 8, 2016, increased the starting flinch strength for snipers from 30% to 50%, and sniper ADS flinch increased from 1.85 times to 1.9 times. With the release of the Dawning in Year 3 came the return of Icebreaker. Icebreaker is a random drop from completing the Sunrise Weekly Nightfall bounty. This bounty was just for you to earn a gold medal in the weekly Nightfall strike. The Year 3 version of Icebreaker is virtually identical to its Year 1 counterpart. The only difference really being is that it has 2 ornaments it can equip and also has slightly improved stats all around. On February 14, 2017, Bungie released the update that changed Crucible as a whole. In this update, they changed how special ammo works by whenever you're killed, you will lose all your special ammo. You start each game with ammo, however, ammo isn't gained from opposing players either, and can only be gotten from special ammo chests, which were also affected in this update. They only appear every 60 seconds, and crates are shared with allies within 75 meters, down from 100. Sidearms get a special note here though, because they are not affected by the loss of ammo on death. They keep their ammo. So as you could probably assume, sidearms gain massive popularity within Crucible, along with ammo regen weapons such as Invective and of course, Icebreaker. Only other patch note somewhat relating to Icebreaker is on March 28th, 2017, they fixed an issue where equipped snipers would appear invisible.
Into the dungeon!
Much like with Yellowhorn, Icebreaker makes an appearance and Enter the Gungeon. The base version behaves more to that of a shotgun than a sniper, however, and it's only when paired with the exotic, aka Yellowhorn, that the more familiar feeling of Icebreaker happens, where it shoots high-powered shots, slow rate of fire, and ammo regen. If Icebreaker is instead paired with another weapon called the Patriot, its synergy perk activates called Gunderlord. Icebreaker functions like I had just mentioned, but the Patriot now has electricity damage when it shoots. Very interesting coincidence I have seemed to have made myself, with the 3 weapons I've talked about so far all being referenced as the 3 Destiny weapons in Enter the Gungeon. I swear this was not planned.
Broadcast repeats.
Jumping all the way forward, and maybe not so good 6 years later, we end up at episode Revenant, and with it, release of one of the best dungeons we have ever gotten, Vesper's Host. Vesper's Host brought the return of Icebreaker as its RNG exotic reward. If you were one of the approximately 41,591 people that were lucky enough to clear contest mode, you got this weapon after your clear. The weapon has stayed relatively true to its D1 counterpart, albeit changed quite a bit since D2 removed the regen ammo perks altogether. It instead functions as a pseudo-infinite ammo weapon so long as you can get kills. Instead of ammo coming from thin air with no effort required, you're now required to play the game. A tall task, I know. Getting kills with other weapons or abilities rewards a shot to the magazine. This is at a frequency of every other kill, more or less. The Icebreaker perk is also somewhat changed. It still causes the small explosion on kill, however, on precision kills, or shattering frozen targets, or shattering stasis crystals, it now causes an ignition. It also has 10 rounds in the magazine instead of 6. The Catalyst, which you got by solving a convoluted puzzle, then shooting 4 hidden stasis crystals throughout the dungeon, which then revealed a code where you would enter at the secret loot chest, is more or less the replacement of Mulligan, where it now functions to where when shooting a slowed or frozen target, it has a chance to return the shot right back to the magazine. This is also a case of every other shot. The return of this exotic wasn't exactly received the best, however, as this weapon is still a quite slower playstyle loop that has a harder time fitting into the quicker gameplay that modern D2 is known for. It's still a high ADS time, low handling sniper with a low fire rate and can feel sluggish to use. It was hard to convince players to swap off higher DPS exotic heavy weapons and even legendary energy weapons because it wasn't meta defining by any means, but when paired with the right build, i.e. Rhyme Coat Stasis Lock, it's a very satisfying playstyle. While by no means the best option to use, it is a powerhouse of a combo to use in a non-boss activities and quite fun if I dare say so. I know it's quite the controversial take to talk about having fun in a game, but it is what it is. Going through the rest of the patch notes up until now, we start on December 10th, 2024, fixed an issue where players who died on their run with the Catalyst secret active would not always receive the Catalyst. On January 14th, 2025, Sniper Rifle's camera roll component of flinch was reduced against players by 20%. On December 2nd, 2025, Sniper Rifle flinched reduced by 40%. On December 9th, 2025, fixed visuals on the Without Ceremony ornament for Icebreaker. On December 16th, 2025, fixed an issue where anti-barrier sniper mods were increasing sniper rifle damage. And finally, on June 9th, 2026, fixed an issue where Icebreaker was errantly igniting barrier champions while they were stunned. Also decreased Sniper's meditation damage bonus by 5%. And that concludes Icebreaker's legacy. One of the more influential weapons of Destiny 1, but didn't quite have the same welcoming in D2 with its return. If you like this series and want to see it continue, let me know, and let me know what exotic I should cover next. So until next time, see ya.